Good evening. Today is Monday, February 10th, 2025. Update for Tuesday the 11th. All right, let's go. With no setups again tonight, believe me, I tried, and this list was a little bigger, and the more I looked at it, the more I whittled it down. In fact, I was going to take out this BTSG at the last minute, but I thought I'd leave it in. It didn't show you why I was going to take it out. But anyway, a little bit of a bounce in KGS, not enough to get excited about, you know me, unless we hit and exceed that IPT, I don't get too excited. This one here, it's like I'm not a big fan of rallies that are just on one or two big bars and kind of straight up like this. It actually needs a little deeper pullback too. And by the time it does all that, then you've given up a lot of that breakout. So I'm going to pass on that. When there are a few shorts in here, I'm not going to go after these for now. I just want to show you what I'm seeing. NVIDIA still looks questionable at best, but one more big update would put us back in the soup here, and that would negate this potential setup there. So let's just hold off for now on new positions. And as I was thinking earlier, I think the person with the most patience, especially in this market, and hopefully I can flesh some of this out for you so it'll make sense. But first of all, let's just get to the market while we're talking about that. P's had an okay day. Any okay day, or any up day, I should say, at these levels is certainly a good thing because you're really not too far away from all-time highs. And that's one reason you don't want to go too crazy on the short side. But you don't want to do a whole lot else either because this sideways movement we've been in for quite some time. And then also follow the bouncing ball. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then in more recent times, up and down, up and down, up and down, and sideways. I know I've been saying all this ad nauseum, but nothing has changed just yet. Take a look at the NASDAQ. Back above the 50, that's better than a poke in the eye, but mostly sideways for quite some time. In fact, you can go all the way back to December, early December on that. Rusty 2000, nothing really new to report. A little bit of a bounce there. Still looks toppy longer term. Certainly, again, nothing to be excited about there. Cybersecurity, one of the few areas doing okay. Nice uptrend, banging out some new highs and a bit of vigor. So maybe on something like a TKO, we'll see some setups here fairly soon. Gold also doing okay too, banging out some new highs with a bit of vigor. And gold stocks have been doing nice too. They've been following suit, I should say, which they don't always do with the underlying commodity. But when they kick it into gear, they begin to move. So maybe we'll see some setups there. One thing that's a bummer, and it's something we've been paying attention to quite a bit, is these markets that are stalling out after just making brand new highs and just exceeding these prior highs in here. So it's not the end of the world for broker dealer, but you can see it's beginning to stall out a little bit, losing some short-term momentum. So that's certainly a bit of a bummer. Some areas like biotech, which we're trying to bottom out, beginning to roll back over, now back below that 50 simple moving average. Drugs look a little bit better than biotech. So far, it looks like their bottoming action remains in place. Let's take a look at a couple other areas. Medical devices, they're looking okay, not too far away from all-time highs, so that's certainly a good thing. Banks overall, bases of the MG group still look okay, but they came in a little bit. And this is the thing I've been real concerned about, as I've been saying ad nauseum, is we break out past the prior peak and then come back below it, and that gives the market a bit of a double top look. As I often say, double tops rarely set up in a textbook fashion. Usually they overshoot a little bit, get everybody happy, and come back in. Or they stall well short of the prior highs, and that's possibly what KBE is doing here. You can see stalling in this retrace rally. So not a whole lot to get excited about there, at least for now. Semiconductors, a little bit of a bounce, better than a poke in the eye. At least we've made it back into this range, and we've closed quite a bit of this gap. I think this gap is questionable based on the news, but I know, just confuse the issue with facts. Technically, we did push back into this range. You know me, I like to see us close this gap completely and get out of that range. As we look at a couple other areas in here, home builders, same story there. They're remaining in a bit of a downtrend. Health services continue to kind of bottom out in here. So some of the areas that were just breaking out or stalling out a little bit, some of the areas like biotech that were bottoming out are now stalling out in their bottoming process, and a couple other areas like major drugs still look okay. It looks like they're trying to put a bottom in, but for the most part, it's very, 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 very mixed out there. And again, as I've been preaching, look no further than the S&P, and NASDAQ's even worse as far as the sideways movement. Again, up and down and up and down and up and down, both shorter term or very short term over a several day cycle and somewhat longer term over a weekly cycle in here. In fact, let's just take a look at the weekly real quick and then we'll wrap it up. You can see the weekly has those railroad tracks that we've been talking about a little bit as of late. Up, down, up, 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 down, down, down. And if you go with even a longer term chart, it becomes more obvious with the sideways action. Longer term, yeah, still an uptrend. Shorter term, just all over the place. So let's just sit tight, let things unfold. Sitting on a big pile of cash when the opportunities come along is a wonderful place to be, and it's going to be a long time to learn that, believe me. Any questions? You know the routine. Everyone have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow, if not sooner. Thank you so much.